I pretty much always use the same progression teaching method to show how to solve quadratic equations. This is how I solve quadratic equations. First of all, can you solve this though? Answer: a equals 0. Why? Because 10 times something equals 0, so that something's got to be 0. Okay, what about the next one? Obviously pause the video if you want to have a think first before I dive in, but I'd like to just kind of keep going. Something times something is 0. Well that means that, well, either that's 0 or that's 0. Well, I suppose they could both be 0 as well. So a equals 0 and or b equals 0. But I'm just going to kind of ask your permission, sort of say, are you okay if I just write or b equals 0? Reason is, everything will go smoother later on. I do mean and, but let's just not worry about that because it doesn't really affect anything. What about this one? Pause the video, have a bit of a think. Well, in this case, a equals 0 or b equals 0 or c equals 0. Okay, so we're kind of getting the idea now that if you've got stuff multiplied together and e equals 0, well, one of them's got to be 0. Okay, what about this? I'll draw a little line down here because I just like to kind of separate it out. Well, that means that either that is 0 or that is 0. One of the two has to be 0 because you've got two things multiplied together. And by the way, that would mean that what, b is 5, yeah, because 5 minus 5 is 0. What about the next one? Well, we've got two things multiplied together, one of them must be 0. So either a is 0 or b plus 5 is 0. But rather than, because we're just learning, that's actually a very good way of writing it later on. But let's just write b equals minus 5 because minus 5 plus 5 would make it 0. What about this? Well, that means that a minus 1 is 0 or b minus 3 is 0. Yeah, they could both be 0, but like I said, we're just kind of pretending that that doesn't really matter because it doesn't affect anything. Again, that's a really great way of writing it. I'm just going to go a equals 1 or b equals 3, just to keep it a bit simpler, keep the learning simpler. I think it's clearer to look at. Yeah, because we've got two things multiplied together, one of them has to be 0, because to make the answer 0. Let's do another one. Wait a sec, that can't possibly, that's 10, so that's just, we can ignore that. So that means that a equals 1. Oh, okay. That's the only way we can make the answer 0. What about this one? So a could, because we've got something times something equals 0 as usual, which means one of the two somethings, one of the two things must be 0. So if a was 10, that left hand side would make 0. If b was minus 2, the right hand side would be 0. Yeah, okay. Hang on, let me write an equal sign there. There we go, so that's the two possible answers. And to finish off, we're now going to make it look like a quadratic. You might recognize this. That would mean that x equals 10 or x equals minus 2. There's still one more thing we're going to do. On this page, I'm going to show you what the question might be. So in the exam, or just generally in maths, I've just done this when I've just been like in my job. If I had to solve an equation in my job, I might have something like this: x squared. Oops, I've got to get this right now. X squared minus 8 minus 20 minus 8x minus 20 equals 0. Now suppose I had to factorize that. Suppose I had to solve that. I could look at that and go, if I could make it look like this, I could solve it. Yeah, it'd be great. Whee! So I just need to make it look like that. So I'm going to factorize. So if you do know how to factorize, if you don't, you're going to have to kind of go away and learn that separately. But if you do, then you kind of go, okay, well, let's make this. Let's do it in a different color. I need to make this first. So x times x makes x squared. And then I need to make this second. So there's multiple different ways of doing it, but I'm going to try and guess. Oh, I think I want minus 10 and plus 2, because then if I factorize it out, it will work. I've just written it around the wrong way, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, so there you go. How's that feel? Hopefully, the thing I was aiming to teach here is, or help you learn, is this. To realize that we factorize a quadratic because then we can use this trick that, oh, I've got two things multiplied together, so one of them must be 0. And that's kind of, we use that trick to solve quadratics.